And good evening, everyone. I hope you are having a very good evening today, and thank you for coming. And I believe Tampa has a lot to contribute to strengthen the ecosystem in here. And I want to thank Kunal, Bruce, and others for taking the initiative to start this chapter here, and also organizing events like this, where we have an opportunity to meet each other, learn from each other, and hopefully support each other. And I'm also very honored today to have the opportunity to share my experience of realizing like my version of American dream. Right? By founding a software company, having grown it or successfully exited, it's not boatloads of money. Hopefully that's next one, right? I'm sure all of you heard a lot of advice, read a lot of books on business, on entrepreneurship. And I think we all also understand, having lived it, is there is no single formula for success. Okay? I cannot come here and tell you whatever, probably the title is not the right one. I cannot tell you how to succeed in it, but I do want to share my experience. And I think Thomas Edison is the one that said, I think he probably was talking about entrepreneurship when he said genius is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. Right? I think my family probably agrees with it because they think I've spent 99% of time at work. Right? First, I want to thank my wife and actually our kids, Meghna and Rajiv, for supporting me and living through it. So when I look at the long journey from a remote village and farming village in India to be a serial entrepreneur in US, again, there are a lot of things that you learn and go through it, but based on time as well as, I think, not to bore you, I just wanted to pick 2 or 3 things that I think that made the most difference. And also, I don't want to provide you like new advice or new ideas. I think you have a lot of that. What I want to kind of share today is, wanted to take those 2 or 3 key ideas and share with you how we have executed. So because that's the most important aspect of it. I know all of you have very great ideas and you want to make it successful. So I kind of want to look at my experience of how we executed it. So let's take the first one. Again, as I said, this is an idea that's familiar with everyone. As an entrepreneur, you need to find and lead a niche. And I think the only way you can succeed or be able to grow the business is that you are able to lead that, whatever the niche that you have selected. So at the previous company that I was with is called 4CS, and the niche that we picked is service lifecycle management. Again, initially we didn't have all of these things. Our first product is iWarranty that helps manage the warranty for manufacturers. After they sell you the product, they need to provide you warranty, all the processes that are involved with it. SLM is about a lot of the post-support process. Again, I don't want to get into the details about the product or the niche, but tell you once we selected the niche, then when we talk about the lead, just before we exited the business, IDC, one of the premier analyst firms, has done a study. And they were taking the warranty management, I would take two of the areas, and did a vendor landscape. As you can see here, 4CS, and at the time PTC was acquiring, so they put PTC and 4CS, was ranked as the leader. And again, as you can see here, we are the only leader in the leader quadrant. And then if you look at the other companies that are present there, SAP, Oracle, Pegasystems, these are all, as you know, are the mega companies. They are the behemoths in the ERP space. So we had, like, say, revenues of even 20 million. They probably have like 100 times as much revenue in billions of dollars. One of the things I kind of want to share with you today is how did we manage to be the leader in an analyst report? Again, that's the power of the niche here, right? We could be the big fish in a small pond. And if we take the warranty analytics, which is very related area, again, it's the same thing. There are a number of companies that are analytic firms. If we take SAS, that's one of the largest private analytics company or business intelligence company. We were ranked second in that area, right behind SAS, and then there are a lot of other companies, Teradata and SAP, those are behind it. So again, we do think even as a smaller company, smaller software company, you could establish yourself as the leader. So how did we actually find that niche? Again, not going into the details, I want to use this as an example. to say how we define it. First thing is warranty. Why would somebody want to get into warranty business? Right? A lot of you may think that's not that big of a deal. We get warranty on a product. When it fails, we go get it fixed and we are done with it. But obviously there are a lot of things behind the scenes that happens to manage the warranty. And the reason I got involved is when I actually arrived about close to 20 years ago now in US, the first company I worked for is John Deere. I think they are the world's largest farm equipment or a tractor manufacturer. And initially we arrived to help them with some systems. I was a computer science engineer, arrived in US and arrived in Moline, Illinois, of all places, which is 150 miles west of Chicago. And in 6 months, they were kind of decentralizing and forming a new group. And it said they wanted like a construction division to have a separate product support IT group. And then they told they can only have one developer. I was fortunate enough to say somebody that was working with me recommended, hopefully I probably done decent kind of job there, and then said, could he help you with it? So again, when we started on that, being probably initially for probably up to a year or so, I was the one-person IT department for that. But what that did is, got to learn the business a lot deeper. And again, part of, I think, as you go into the business side, whatever the area you are in, I think if you have an opportunity to get a lot more details of it, not at the surface of it. So I was directly interacting with the business people. So it's not just about the technology, it's how we apply the technology to the business side of it. Then in mid-90s, after I got my green card, which is when we all think of starting a new business, we looked at is the internet is being adopted by everyone in the business area. So what we were using is the older technologies. And also, when we looked at that niche, it's underserved. Not many companies were focusing on that. But the ERP companies were fighting their battles in the ERP, CRM, those areas. So again, if you can find that niche, and also we didn't want to start and then say we will just do like a warranty inquiry or a claim. Part of our goal was, once we picked that niche, we wanted to get a lot more deeper. Said we are probably the first company that actually defined it as a warranty life cycle. It's not just about processing claims or handling warranty. That could be a way to improve the quality of the products. And also, as you know, like Hyundai and those companies used warranty as a marketing to improve like how they sell their cars. So part of, I think, what we define initially is like warranty can be a differentiating factor for companies. Warranty can be a lot more. And if you look at it, companies spend about $50 billion in warranty every year. And we thought the software business could be annually about $2.5 billion. We have different ways we calculate it and provide it anyway. So again, it goes back is, even if we take that niche can be very big. Right? And check your area, and probably not many people talk about warranty with passion, but we could do that. So we picked a niche that we could dominate in. Okay? So, but when we were starting, there was nobody writing about warranty software. They were writing about CRM, and we actually worked very hard to say we don't want to be classified as a CRM. Somebody even came up with the term service CRM. We said, no, we are a warranty lifecycle management company. Right? To be able to do it, initially, we even had to have like a trade publication that started. And we were very early supporters of it, because we are not just creating a company there, we saw ourselves as we are creating a new industry segment. Okay? So we were early sponsors of it. Actually, they could write a lot about us and we could work with them. Similarly, we had to find a conference that's dedicated to warranty claim management. We didn't want to go to, again, all the IT conferences where you are considered a new part of a bigger whole, versus in a warranty management conference, we are the main player. Right? So again, part of building it is, you need to be able to define who the target, again, who are targeted companies. One of the things we decided early is, we are in the technology and software business, but we didn't want to sell it to IT managers. They get calls from every vendor. They are mainly looking at it as a technology solution, and they are not going to be fired for selecting other than IBM or SAP or somebody else to do it. So part of our value is for the business managers. So we targeted the warranty managers. They are not ones that are getting calls from lots of people. So we wanted to find a champion within those groups and then be able to grow from there. Again, part of you defining niches that you are not going to the same people within companies that you are selling to. Right? it's not the same salespeople, marketing managers, or IT managers to do it, that we were able to find different people to target to do that. Then as we look at the industry too, I think since all of you are in the high technology industry, a lot of them, I'm sure you've probably heard of this model. Right? I think that Jeffrey Moore talked about crossing the chasm a long time ago. Again, that shows I'm old anyway. But I think this is still very, very relevant. Part of when, as we are growing 2 years, this is the model we wanted to implement. And you know, when you're starting with the new technology, not everybody is going to embrace and then say, come on over, we'll give you a check, we'll implement your software. Right? You need to find those first few customers that are willing to take the risk, that are willing to believe in you because of your past experience, all those kind of things. And then you can get to the little bit early adopters or the visionaries. Then being able to cross, as we said, there is a big gap there. Because after that, they get a lot of pragmatic. They want to know the differences. Right? Have you done it? Why should we take the risk with you and things like that? So again, part of, I think if you are going through it, either it is for industry, if it's a different adoption cycle, I want to make sure like we understand it. So part of our model of growing it is, again, when we talk to the next stage, that's what we want to talk about is how we applied this. So we were not in a hurry to say we need to add 10 salespeople to grow the sales. To get to the first visionary customers, we need to be able to talk at a CEO level, let's sell those first few customers to be able to grow later. Okay? So, and other thing is, a lot of times when you're starting, who are the major competitors? Again, you will all see this. If you're introducing a new product, new technology, there are always these competitors present. It's not about other competitors, which we'll talk about a little bit. First is status quo. People don't want to change. Right? They've been happy. Warranty has, for example, warranty has been managed for the last 100 years. So why should it be different now? Other thing is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. That they don't trust you to do it. And then they may not get the budget for it, because if they were implementing an SAP project, even though we weren't directly competing with them, all the resources in the IT group or all the budget probably will go towards that or something like that. So how do you get the budget priority? Similarly, a lot of times big companies say that's coming. If a company asks, how come you don't do warranty, we paid you $10 million for software to do it, they will say that's in our next release. So part of what you are competing with it is, how do you convince them this is you can implement the software and benefit it today. So part of, again, what we go back is building that niche or leadership is realizing these are the things, how we can acquire customers one by one, being able to prove that you are the leader and you can deliver. So then we come to the next aspect of it. Once you found the niche, and then as we said, I think we have models to lead the niche, you cannot do it unless you acquire customers. Right? And then part of our model is, again, we all heard about it. We need to provide best customer service, we need to take care of the customer. That's all true, but actually what I'm talking about here is having a customer-centric business model. Let me talk to you what that means. So again, as a small company, within the first few years, we were able to acquire a number of large companies. As you can see here, there are probably some names you recognize, like we started with John Deere in the heavy, again, you see in certain segments, because again, that's our focus to say, how do we get customers in those segments like the equipment, because that's where we started our auto and aero, like Daimler trucks, or it's the ACO, Kawasaki. I mean, again, it's not car industry, but it's the heavy equipment where we felt like there's a lot higher value for the warranty or the services to do it. So if you look at, I mean, let me ask you again, who is the best spokesperson for the company? You? CEO? Somebody said customer. So that's what we say is, best spokesperson is a satisfied customer. So what do we mean by that? Because as you know, other customers are always looking to listen from somebody else that has done it. That's the only way they can assure that they have less risk for it. We can get in front of them, give all the speeches, all the presentations to do it, but if a customer is able to do, there is a lot higher credibility to do that. So we kind of took to the heart and said, in a lot of things that we were doing, that's what we tried to do. So how did we execute that advice in a way? If you, at 4 years, I mean, this website probably is still not there. Primary section of it is testimonials from customers, talking about why they selected our software and why it's doing this, why it's the best thing, right, for the warranty side of it. Again, it's not new. Part of what we have done, again, is make sure in every relationship, even in our contract, to say that we would like them to be spokesperson for us. We have sponsored them for conferences. Instead of us presenting at the conferences, a lot of times we wanted to make sure we fly a customer out, have them present it, have them be part of a panel, because that has a lot more value than even as a CEO or somebody else speaking about it. Again, even if you have one customer, make sure that customer is able to do it. And part of, again, some of the things as we talked about, with every customer acquisition, that we felt like is the major milestone. I know we all like to release a lot of press releases and things like that, but I think the best announcement that you can make is a customer, but also get into the detail of why they select. If they can explain their reasoning, then they are making that reasoning easier for another customer to do it. Or customer case studies and analyst support. You can take a lot of these things, part of our marketing, and we have our marketing manager here too. The message is, how do we make sure customer is in front of other customers? Right? That's the best way to spend the marketing budget in a way. So then it's easy, these persons get easier and easier. So who is the best salesperson for the company? Customer, referenceable customers in a way to do it. And again, if you give an example, one of the early on when we started warranty, again there is a competition. There was another company called NASDAQ that was a competitor to us. They raised $40 million of venture capital. And we were actually bootstrapping from the customer side of things. They hired like 20 salespeople, make sure that they covered, they could be the leader in that. That's their model to do it. Obviously, that's until they ran out of the venture capital money to do it. Because again, the main model as we talked about is, we're not going to be able to, even if we have 20 or 100 salespeople, be able to generate the sales unless there are customers talking about it. Once they have, like, let's say, a couple of those failures, it's easy for us to say, if they ask about the competitor, talk to these two other customers in a wrong way to do it. So again, focus all your energy early on. How do you make 1, 2, or 3, or whatever number of customers you are able to get, make them referenceable customers. Right? And I think that's worth millions of dollars of sales value, just like the marketing side of it. Again, what we have done, we actually, part of our marketing, the main aspect is not to generate a lot of brochures and things like that. Actually, we had a person that could do videos. We sent to the customer after a few months to do it, take a video, explain different things of that, and then we have a lot of those videos on our website for other customers to look at it. Again, part of it, this is, sorry for being repeated, but hopefully you're getting the message. That's again what we see as the best way to sell to these companies. We also, when we started, we didn't have a first customer for warranty software. What did we do? We had, as I explained to you, I was working at John Deere as a developer. The manager, warranty manager that was giving me work at the time, as well as the business analyst that was there, first salesperson I hired is that warranty manager from John Deere, and I know the timing worked out too, because John Deere was offering at the time early retirement program. We said, we have a good position for you. He has never done sales. He's a warranty manager that's in the back office to do it. But we hired because we know if anybody is going to talk to other customers, he's the best person to be able to talk. And the next customer we got, we basically set up a couple of hours of session with these warranty managers to say, how do we help them improve their warranty? Right? Or he even says, I have 20 years or 25 years with John Deere, I have managed warranty to do it. Again, we think that credibility, customers talking to others, even if I didn't have a first customer, we were at least able to get like whom we have worked with before, that brings that credibility. Again, we have offered service credit. Right? Again, best commission you can pay is, if a customer wants to visit, we facilitate it, and then said, because they are spending their time. Sometimes these could go for 4 hours, 6 hours to do it. We give you 40 hours or 80 hours of service credit that they can use it for doing other business for us. Okay? I think, again, best dollars you can spend. A lot of the people that we hired, salespeople, pre-sales, the product managers, all came from this warranty industry with 10 plus years. Again, part of the goal is, if we are going to claim we are the specialists, we better be able to prove that with everyone we have. CEO worked on warranty project, our salespeople worked on it, our pre-sales people worked on it, our product managers know warranty industry to do it. And again, as we talked about, sell it to the functional managers. requests from customers. Right? We worked with the Kawasaki. They used warranty, but they said we also have a problem in parts. And we said, I know we were already handling some of the parts as part of the warranty, so we could provide you the right parts, but we will do the development. Again, part of where we did is not only the other services and other license fees that funded for it, but we also need to find a cost-effective way of developing. We used outdoor or various mechanisms of service people to do it, but we didn't want to go and develop other products unless they were actually a paying customer for it. And I think it sounds difficult to do it, but I think it can be done. We have done it. That's why I wanted to share on that execution side of things. Okay? Then the last one, as we talked about, if you have a right niche, if you are able to get the customers, it doesn't mean all things go well. And so this one I want to more keep it generic to say, we did face a lot of problems. Right? But so one of the key things that I learned, generally as entrepreneurs, we are very optimistic. We are very confident. Without that, we don't take the risks that we take, right? Tremendous risks that need to be taken. We will not be able to do it, but part of what we say is we need to let that optimism drive us, but not blind us. What does that mean? So we went through the economic recession too, like every business goes through. There is probably 20-40% of business to do it. But a lot of times, the first time we said is, that's not going to affect us. We are a small company, right? Maybe our products are in warranty, will save costs. Customer will continue to invest in us. But so sometimes we are willing to give reasons. Or big customer changes. One of our customers, if you saw, is GMAC. During the recession, they had to be backed down. We had like say $50 million project with them. Part of it is they could say we will postpone some of the funding to the next year, or the project get extended. So you could have a lot of the big impacts to do it. Again, I'm sure we don't need like entrepreneurs if there are no problems in the business. Right? There are people trying to, there are probably a million other things to do it. Again, so then we have two principles. One is we never give up, as Winston Churchill said. Other is, that doesn't mean we'll just hope that things will just turn out fine, because we are optimistic that we need to be action-oriented, right? So I do think if at all I made a lot of mistakes, probably this is where, like I'm very optimistic. I believe things will work out anyway, but I think that earlier we can take action, more decisive action we can take. So that's where I think we err more on, and I think I take it to the next businesses, need to figure out how can you anticipate and act on it, even if you're optimistic. Doesn't mean we need to change the goal, but how do we change our action plan to still get there? Right? Without that action, you will not be able to get there. So then, as we go through it, those are my 3 things I wanted to share. There are probably a lot of things, and so why did we decide to exit if we are the leader? Again, like the proverb, we have fork in the road. You have to take one. So after the decision, we had to decide whether we want to grow or we want to sell. Right? We reached a certain stage, and again, company goes through different stages. So, and again, with family and other things we thought about it is, there are fears of long recession at the time. Maybe there is a double dip and things like that. And also, software industry is moving fast towards SaaS model or on-demand model, which requires a different level of investment. The model that we talked about in customer funding gets a little bit challenged. Not that it's not doable. We did start on a model called Service On, which is to be able to provide an on-demand, but switching from an enterprise on-premise model to SaaS model is not that easy. Again, part of what we had to decide is, do we want to do it in that business, or we have opportunities to do it later? And also, we're engaged with the growth rate. We probably had about 30+% growth rate for every year, except for during the recession period, which was like a 20. Again, we felt like that growth rate is not sufficient for us to be able to realize on our own. So part of what we were looking at is, can we continue to do what we have done? Bootstrap from the customers, even though we're a leader to do it. So the conclusion is, I think it's probably time to diversify and be able to say there are a lot of opportunities. The industry is changing, so then we thought it's time to be able to exit. And then again with that, we kind of wanted to look at is strategic options. If we define our industry as service lifecycle management, who else is playing that? And so actually another company that's in the SLM, but they were doing different aspects of it, parts invoicing and a few other like that. They did make an offer, they offered to do it. Then we said we needed to obviously find out our options and do that. And part of what we did is we again targeted a couple of companies. We felt like we can add value to like a PEC, which company that acquired us, so I can share that company name if there is a press release about that. So PC, which is a $2 billion public software company that's in PLM, they were defining product lifecycle management from the engineering design until they deliver it. So we said if we are going to deliver it from the time they deliver the product, the service, until they replace it, so they can complete the whole product lifecycle management. So again, I think they had that vision too, so it was a good fit, and we felt like it's the right opportunity to exit. And out of the two, we selected it because if we couldn't build $1 billion company, we thought we will join one. And also that has enough customer base where we felt like our product can be adopted by a lot more customers. So that's what we did in an exit side. Again, more important there is the strategic fit, whether the customers believe these are the two products, right, that have a synergy to do that. So again, moving too quickly, after the exit, around the same time, my son, his favorite movie is The Social Network. Right? And one of his favorite quotes is Sean Parker saying to them, $1 million isn't coal. You know what is coal? Raj? $1 billion. Right? So we said no, I just think, but that aside, then we realized after spending a few months with this new $1 billion company, realized, hey, that's not what we are meant to be, right? So it's time to do something new. So on the day Facebook went public, and using that analogy of May 18, decided to launch a new company that we wanted to, again, look at the same way. What are the technologies that are currently trending? Whether it's mobile and social, and also some of the things we didn't complete before. So again, we feel like there is an incomplete vision. How can we take it to the end customers? Before we were doing in the back-end processing. Now, more of the power is shifting to consumers. They want to manage their products. They want to manage their choices. They have a lot more computing power in their hand than they ever did. So part of what we did is, how do we build onto what we call like Mize, is basically to connect the consumers to the brands and to be able to manage all the products you want. So you have all aspects of it, it's a discovery stage or the product support stage. So we are leveraging some of the expertise we have. Hopefully we will be able to get some of those customers to fund us to do it, but we have a different model to do that. Again, I don't mean to get into a lot of details, but that's the transition we made from what we did at 4CS to Mize. And I'd be happy to, I think probably I'm running a little bit later on time, so if you have any couple of questions, I'd be happy to answer. Please, thank you.
So you said there's a lot of the same team. Was it just you that started the next company? You brought maybe the senior manager with you?
No, actually, no. One is I still have a non-compete and non-solicitation sometimes. But other also, I do want to respect our agreement with them. But we did have some people that were willing to come over and help us with it. We do think they have some of the people that have the expertise. Either now or in the future we may take it, especially some of the key technology folks that were there. They did come over and continue us with that. So that, again, we feel like provides us a stronger foundation. Again, I would like to find out who the customers are. I'm still looking for that, whom we can hire from our customers. Because, yeah, go ahead.
A lot of people ask, why did you pick Tampa?
Yeah, that's a good question. And again, I get asked that question all the time. When we did want to do, after the exit anyway, we were working in Chicago, so we felt like it's time to find something new, just like we are starting a new company. And so when we looked at different areas, Silicon Valley, Texas, and Tampa, and things like that, so one, we feel like Tampa or Florida has a very good cost of living. Right? You can live in a mansion here for the same price you pay in Silicon Valley, or something closer to it. We do believe that tax structure is a lot better, right, compared to California to do that. And then we did believe, I think other groups like others have said, Tampa is a growing technology area. From outside we believed it. I know people get surprised, hey, you didn't believe it, but I do think again, after coming here, I definitely believe Tampa has a lot to offer. Right? And I think that's part of, when Kundan said, their founding time said, I'm on. Because we do want all of us to, I think we can make this Tampa a lot better. and I think Tampa has a lot of benefits to offer in terms of the location, the weather, the access, and the talent too. I know a lot of them are probably from here going elsewhere. So I believe we can make that happen. If we can build a company in Moline, Illinois, I believe I can build a company in Tampa.